Nicole mentioned earlier, confidence and imposter syndrome. And I had those in spades, as well as, I would say, an incredible anxiety, which I still have, around public speaking. I've focused on this area a lot because of how important it is to obviously be visible, to be out in front of people, to communicate in front of boards and on stages with hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And I knew that for me to achieve what I wanted in my career, that I was going to have to learn how to manage these internal processes that I had that made me incredibly reluctant to be visible in the ways that were required for my job. And I mention this to all of you because I've heard so many women say to me, like, oh my God, I can't believe you have issues with imposter syndrome or with confidence or with public speaking. I do as well. And, a lot of people feel like if they have those fears or they have challenges with those things, that disqualifies them from being able to rise into leadership. And I wanted to say that if you have any of your own fears or limiting beliefs or confidence issues, that it is incredibly common. I think if you look around at most of the people who sit in leadership positions, they all have had things that they've had to overcome, issues like I mentioned. And so just knowing that these are things to be managed rather than things to be looked at as obstacles that can't be overcome. So the way that I personally managed this was to really get behind some of my own perfectionist thinking, the idea that I would be judged for not fitting the typical IT role, or if I wasn't, perfect in how I was putting myself out there, that it would just feed this negative stereotype that we all have to go up against. And I think that honestly, that is what drives a lot of imposter syndrome for women, especially male-dominated spaces, is that we are judged very harshly sometimes. We don't get as much grace when we make mistakes. People do tend to look at things that we do that aren't up to whatever standards they think should be there as reasons why women shouldn't be in these spaces. So there's good reasons that we often, develop some of these fears and confidence issues, but it's really important as you think about advancing to come up with strategies for managing them so they don't get in the way of what you want to do and where you want to go.